Contract management or contract administration is the management of contracts made with customers, vendors, partners, or employees. The personnel involved in contract administration required to negotiate, support and manage effective contracts are expensive to train and retain. Contract management includes negotiating the terms and conditions in contracts and ensuring compliance with the terms and conditions, as well as documenting and agreeing on any changes or amendments that may arise during its implementation or execution. It can be summarized as the process of systematically and efficiently managing contract creation, execution, and analysis for the purpose of maximizing financial and operational performance and minimizing risk. Common commercial contracts include employment letters, sales invoices, purchase orders, and utility contracts. Complex contracts are often necessary for construction projects, goods or services that are highly regulated, goods or services with detailed technical specifications, intellectual property agreements, and international trade. A study has found that for 42% of enterprises, the top driver for improvements in the management of contracts is the pressure to better assess and mitigate risks, and additionally, nearly 65% of enterprises report that contract lifecycle management has improved exposure to financial and legal risk. Contracts. A contract is a written or oral legally binding agreement between the parties identified in the agreement to fulfill the terms and conditions outlined in the agreement. A prerequisite requirement for the enforcement of a contract, amongst other things, is the condition that the parties to the contract accept the terms of the claimed contract. Historically, this was most commonly achieved through signature or performance, but in many jurisdictions, especially with the advance of electronic commerce, the forms of acceptance have expanded to include various forms of electronic signature. Contracts can be of many types, for example sales contracts, purchasing contracts, partnership agreements, trade agreements, and intellectual property agreements. A sales contract is a contract between a company and a customer where the company agrees to sell products and/or services and the customer in return is obligated to pay for the product services bought. A purchasing contract is a contract between a company and a supplier who is promising to sell products and/or services within agreed terms and conditions. The company in return is obligated to acknowledge the goods/or service and pay for liability created. A partnership agreement may be a contract which formally establishes the terms of a partnership between two legal entities such that they regard each other as partners in a commercial arrangement. However, such expressions may also be merely a means to reflect the desire of the contracting parties to act as if both are in a partnership with common goals. Therefore, it might not be the common law arrangement of a partnership which by definition creates fiduciary duties and which also has joint and several liabilities. Areas of contract management. The business standard contract management model, as employed by many organizations in the United States, typically exercises purview over the following business disciplines: authoring and negotiation, baseline management, commitment management, communication management, contract visibility and awareness, document management, growth, stages in contract placement, Step 1, requirements analysis, Step 2, evaluation plan, Step 3, invitation to tender, Step 4, evaluation of proposals, contract management certification. Candidates who meet rigorous standards, including experience, education, training, and knowledge can be awarded certifications. There are two main certifying associations. The NCMA offers a Certified Professional Contracts Manager, Certified Federal Contracts Manager or Certified Commercial Contracts Manager. IACCM offers 3 levels of certification: Certified Contract Manager Associate, Certified Contract Manager Practitioner, Certified Contract Manager Expert, CCME. Several universities in the US and UK are also offering their versions of training and certification: St. Louis University, Villanova University, University of California at Los Angeles and the University of Virginia provide certificates in contract management. Change management. There may be occasions where what is agreed in a contract needs to be changed later on. A number of bases may be used to support a subsequent change, so that the whole contract remains enforceable under the new arrangement. A change may be based on a mutual agreement of both parties to vary the contract, outside the framework of the existing contract. This would be an independent basis for changing the contract. A unilateral decision to vary the contract, contemplated and allowed for by the existing contract. This would normally have notice periods for fairness and often the right of the other, especially in consumer contracts, to cease the contractual relationship. Be careful that any one-way imposition of change is contractually justified, otherwise it may be interpreted as a repudiation of the original contract, enabling the other party to terminate the contract and seek damages. A bilateral decision to vary the contracting, within the variation or change control process outlined in the existing contract. These are often called change control provisions. Phases of contract management. Contract management can be divided into 5 phases, namely, initial phase, bid phase, development phase, manage phase, maintenance phase. See also, document automation, government contract, group purchasing organization, Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, for contracts with the United States government, Uniform Commercial Code, United States, United Nations Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, references. External links, Pratique du Contract Management by GRA Copyright Gori Levo, National Contract Management Association, International Association for Contract and Commercial Management, Institute for Supply Management, A²CM, Contract Management Software Solution, Contract Management Life Cycle, CMPRO. The Specialist Portal for Contract, Claim, Construction, Commercial Management.